Hello everyone, this is Mordecai, host of the updates, and today I will be recapping everything we know about Elden Ring so far as of mid-July 2020. This video will focus on the official information we have so far from a few interviews done by the creator Hidetaka Miyazaki. I won't be talking about any of the rumors/leaks from inside sources in this video, though I may do a video on that later. I will put links in the description to the sources of the information presented in this video. Alright, let's begin with our first topic.
Grant us eyes, grant us eyes.
Let's start from the beginning. What even is Elden Ring?
Oh, Elden Ring.
Elden Ring is an upcoming game published by Bandai Namco and developed by From Software, who are famous for the Dark Souls series and the Soulsborne games. As of now, the game is set to be released on current-gen platforms which include PC, Xbox One, and PlayStation 4. Elden Ring's development began shortly after the development for Dark Souls 3 DLC had ended. For context, the Dark Souls 3 DLC, The Ring City, was released in March of 2017, so it's safe to assume Elden Ring has been in development for over 3 years. As of June of last year, the game still had much work ahead of it, however. Elden Ring's story and world will be crafted by none other than Hidetaka Miyazaki, who served as a director for all the other titles. The process of development is the same as Sekiro's. While assigning co-directors to each project, Miyazaki took direction over the various game design, art, and music aspects of the title. Elden Ring's lore and mythology were written by the famous fantasy writer George R.R. Martin, who is known for his epic fantasy novels A Song of Ice and Fire, which were adapted into the Game of Thrones television series. Thankfully, Martin's part in the game is confirmed to be finished, though Game of Thrones fans will tell you that you shouldn't expect anything with Martin's name tied to it to ever be released. Finally, Elden Ring's soundtrack will be composed by Yuka Kitamura, who has worked on all previous Soulsborne's titles' soundtracks. That's it for the general information. Now onto our next topic of focus.
Ashen One, hearest thou my voice still?
Elden Ring is set to be From Software's largest game to date. The company intends to implement things that they weren't able to do in the Dark Souls series. Elden Ring will be a third-person action RPG, and while Elden Ring may be a classic dark fantasy title, it is more than just that, according to Miyazaki. In the same interview, Miyazaki said that gameplay-wise, Elden Ring will not be far from the Dark Souls series. That doesn't mean that the gameplay will be identical, but you could say that Elden Ring belongs to the same genre. Although Elden Ring puts more focus on RPG aspects, the responsive melee-based combat that we've gotten to know will still be present. The game will allow players to design and control their own unique character, something that was present in the Dark Souls series but absent in Sekiro. Elden Ring will include a wide variety of weapons, magic, and ways to engage enemies. Additionally, Elden Ring will have more variety in the ways players can overcome challenges and tweak their tactics when facing enemies. As a new addition, the character you play as will be able to traverse the world on a horse, with the ability to fight enemies while mounted. Perhaps the Gyobo Oniwa boss fight from Sekiro served as inspiration to make this type of combat possible for the player. However, arguably the biggest difference between Elden Ring and the previous Soulsborne titles is that Elden Ring will be an open-world game. Miyazaki says that the game will have a large, open field to play in, along with it being a world full of danger and threats, as well as many areas ripe for exploration. Among those areas, he will also find intricately designed, multi-layered castles and such. Furthermore, Miyazaki states that, while the narrow and complex dungeons of our previous games were interconnected, Elden Ring's environments will be much more open and vaster. The more extensive world will form the base of Elden Ring's gameplay, and its mechanics are designed with that type of environment in mind. He also says that with a larger world, it became necessary to implement new systems and action mechanics, and that Elden Ring is a more natural evolution of Dark Souls. So perhaps we might see more mechanics aside from a mounted horse. With Sekiro's introduction of a prosthetic tool and grappling hook, who knows what other creative ideas From Software have in their minds. Miyazaki also confirmed that Elden Ring will contain boss fights, while adding that there will be a wide variety of unique and horrifying bosses for players to look forward to. Despite Elden Ring being open world, it doesn't mean we will be seeing vibrant towns and cityscapes. Miyazaki reveals that villages will be dark dungeon-like ruins that you have come to expect from us. Creating a more open game is a big challenge for us, and if we were to add towns on top of that, it would be a bit too much, so we decided to create an open world style game focusing on what we're best at. That's it for all the official information we have on the gameplay so far. And now, on to the final topic.
We are born of the blood, made men by the blood, undone by the blood. Our eyes are yet to open. Fear the old blood.
In an interview with IGN, Miyazaki stated that Elden Ring isn't a ring you wear on your finger, rather the ring is used in the context of a circle. He said, "The Elden Ring is a mysterious key element in the foundation of the world we have created. It forms the rules and rhythm of this world, but as you can see in the trailer, it has been shattered." As I mentioned before, George R.R. Martin wrote about a time long before the era the player actually explores. The current period in the game that the player will experience is still connected to the old times, so as you slowly discover why the world has become the way it is, you will learn more about Martin's mythology. The character from the concept art was chosen as it portrays the darkness that the world and story possess. The character also represents the theme of mankind as well, according to Miyazaki. Miyazaki cited that he enjoyed portraying NPC characters in a more detailed manner for Sekiro, and he believes that Elden Ring's NPC characters will be much more compelling than that of previous works. One thing that Demon's Souls, Dark Souls, and Bloodborne had in common was that they all had a Western fantasy setting. Sekiro was Miyazaki's first game to have a Japanese setting, but for Elden Ring, Miyazaki is going back to his Western fantasy roots. However, Miyazaki stated that Elden Ring's themes will be very different than that of his previous works. Finally, Miyazaki remarked that light looks more beautiful in darkness. When there is something beautiful in the middle of a wasteland, we are able to appreciate it more. One jewel doesn't look like much when you have a pile of them, but if you find one jewel in the midst of mud, it is worth much more. The Elden Ring announcement trailer is exactly like Miyazaki's metaphor. It begins with a small glimpse of light in the middle of total darkness. As the light grows bigger and bigger, it pans out to the blacksmith, and we slowly learn that the Elden Ring has been shattered. Then, a burning scarlet sky reveals that something terrible has happened. Yet at the end of the day, it somehow looks mesmerizingly beautiful. And that's everything we know about Elden Ring so far as of the making of this video. I hope you found this video to be informative, and I want to thank Aviv Music for providing the unofficial Elden Ring soundtrack that was used in this video. As I said before, you can find all the sources of the content used in this video in the description. You're also welcome to subscribe and follow me at Elden Ring Update on Twitter for any Elden Ring related news. I will see you all tomorrow with another daily update video. Farewell for now, and don't you dare go hollow.